So today I'm going to show you how to make this oven roasted Brussels sprouts with butternut squash and a pomegranate glaze. Hi everyone, and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Tami, the creator of the blog and this YouTube channel called Nutmeg Notebook. And this is where I share with you all about a whole food, plant-based lifestyle. So today I'm making something really special. Oven roasted Brussels sprouts with butternut squash and pomegranates. And I know you're going to love it. It is beautiful, it's delicious, perfect for company or for everyday eating. So to get started, we're going to need to trim our Brussels sprouts. Now you can cut this recipe in half, or you can double it, or you can triple it depending on how many people you're feeding. I have 1 pound of Brussels sprouts and I have 12 ounces of butternut squash. But you know, you could have a whole pound, you could have a half a pound. The quantity isn't that important, but I'm going to show you what I do. So this butternut squash was purchased from Trader Joe's, and that's why I know it was 12 ounces. It came in a 12-ounce bag. It's already peeled, and it is cut into chunks, but I just want to cut it up just a little bit more and just slide that out of the way so you can see, because I want it to be able to cook in the same amount of time that it's going to take for the Brussels sprouts to cook. Now, if you have your a fresh butternut squash, go ahead and peel that and cut it up into little pieces. I'll just show you so you can see what that looks like. And I'm just going to get this all cut up, and then I'm going to put it in my mixing bowl. Okay, I have the butternut squash all cut up and in my mixing bowl. And so now I'm going to start to work on the Brussels sprouts. It's a good idea just to have an extra little bowl for your scraps or garbage. So I'm just trimming off the end, and then I'm cutting them into quarters. This depends on how big they are. You can just cut them in half if they're pretty small. And if some of the little Brussels sprout leaves fall off, I go ahead and throw those in because they can oftentimes get nice and crispy. So I just like to trim them just so they look a little bit nicer. And some of these are small, and so they can just be cut in half. The last time I made these, I had really big Brussels sprouts and I had to quarter every one of them. But you see, that's just how they look. So we'll just go ahead and get the whole pound trimmed and cut. Okay, the Brussels sprouts are all trimmed, so now I'm ready just to put those in my mixing bowl. And all those little Brussels sprouts leaves that came off when I trimmed them, I'm going ahead and putting those in the bowl. We will go ahead and roast those as well. They get crispy and really delicious. Now we're going to make a little bit of a marinade for this. So what do we have? We have some stone ground mustard. This is the Westbury, no salt added. You could also use Dijon or any type of brown mustard that you'd have. Don't use the yellow mustard. That's the wrong flavor profile. But if you don't mind some sodium, Dijon works really well in this recipe also. So I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of this. So I'm just going to shake it up. And I have all of these products listed in my Amazon store. So that will be in the show notes below the video. Make it easy for you to get them. So we just want to get a 1/4 cup. That's 4 tablespoons, and we're right there. And I love the little OXO little 4 tablespoon measuring cup. It's great. I have a couple of them. They're very handy. I use them all the time, as well as the little spatulas. The little silicone spatulas are really nice to have. So I'll list those as well. Okay, we have that. And then you have a couple of choices here. So So this is a new product that I found at my Whole Foods. It's just pomegranate molasses, and it has a really delicious flavor. So this particular brand isn't available on Amazon, but I'll link to another brand that is, and I just really like that pomegranate flavor that it gives to it. And I use half of this and then half of the Napa Valley Naturals Grand Reserve. This is a thick and syrupy vinegar that's just 4% acidity, but my friends at California Balsamic also have a pomegranate balsamic. This is also thick and syrupy and delicious. So we're going to need a total of 1/4 cup of either pomegranate molasses or a thick syrupy vinegar, or a combination of the two. So today I'm going to go ahead and use the pomegranate molasses, but the California Balsamic pomegranate vinegar, if you have that or any pomegranate vinegar, you could use that as well. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of each of these. And the low acidity just makes this a sweeter vinegar. And this one is available on Amazon as well as in a lot of markets. Whole Foods, Sprouts, there's a lot of the markets that carry them. I will also link to California Balsamic. If you put Nutmeg Notebook in the message box at checkout, when you place an order, you will get 2 free samples along with your order. And they're wonderful balsamic vinegars. Okay, we have a total of 1/4 cup, 2 tablespoons of each of those. And the sweeter vinegars work really well in this recipe. And then we're just kind of layering flavors here. So I'm also going to add some garlic powder and some onion powder. And these are my favorite from Local Spicery. They're located in Northern California, and I will link to these as well. I don't have any affiliate relationship with them, but just like California Balsamic, I just love their products. These are so delicious. They are hand milled in small quantities, and so you just cannot buy fresher ingredients than this. I'm just using half a teaspoon of each, and we're just layering our flavors here. And we'll do half a teaspoon of onion powder. So we have the onion powder and the garlic powder. And then I have a small whisk that I'm going to use just to whisk that all together, just to get those mustard incorporated and the garlic powder and the onion powder incorporated. See how easy that is? Oh, and I almost forgot my garlic. So I have some fresh garlic cloves here that are already peeled, and I'm going to just slice them up a little bit. I just want them to be thinly sliced, and those are going to roast right along with the Brussels sprouts and the squash. Now, for how much to use, that's up to you. Depends on how much you like garlic. And of course, if you don't like garlic, leave out the garlic powder, leave out the fresh garlic. We happen to really love garlic, so I'm gonna load it up. Oh, it smells so amazing. I wish you guys could smell this. Okay, then these are just gonna go in here as well. And then we will put our little marinade in here, and then we'll give it a good stir. Okay, if you like freshly ground black pepper, go ahead and add some of that. I happen to love it. And we'll just add a little more flavor. And then just stir it up until everything is well coated with our marinade. Okay, now we're going to put it on a baking sheet. I just have an old rimmed baking sheet that is lined with a Silpat mat. If you don't have a Silpat mat, you could, because we're not using any oil, and so this prevents it from sticking to the baking pan, but you could use parchment paper as well. And we're just going to turn it out. So if you double this recipe, then you would want to put it on 2 separate baking sheets because you want it to be spread out into a single layer, just so everything can roast and not steam. And we want to make sure we get all that yummy marinade. And then we'll just spread it out. You're going to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And then you can cook it. It'll take between like 30 and 40 minutes. It's going to depend a little bit on how hot your oven runs. And so you'll just want to look at it and how done you like it. You know, some people like it to be a little less done. Some people like it to be really charred. So I'm going to leave that up to you. But we'll get this in the oven and we'll come back and show you what it looks like when it's all done. So I just pulled these out of the oven. They smell amazing. I can't wait to taste them. So you'll just have to see how long you want to keep them in your oven. It can take anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. I did do it in my convection oven this morning, set at 400, and so I pulled them out at 30 minutes. They looked like they were plenty done to me then. So I'm just going to put these in a pretty bowl and show you how I garnish them. Okay, I've just plated them on a beautiful white platter. I just think food looks so amazing against a white background. Then I have some fresh pomegranate arils that I just opened up a pomegranate while this was cooking and got all of the pomegranate arils out. That's the seeds that are inside, and they go really well with this, of course, because we use the pomegranate molasses, and it just adds a beautiful little color to the dish as well. Since we use the dark balsamic, it just, you know, makes the Brussels sprouts and the butternut squash dark. But look how beautiful this is, you guys. And the taste is amazing. You can smell the garlic and the pomegranate molasses. And oh, it's wonderful. I can't wait to dig in. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you wish. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and while you're subscribing, click that little bell icon that's near the subscribe tab. That is how you get notifications whenever I have a new video up. And if you haven't subscribed to my blog yet, please go over to nutmegnotebook.com and subscribe. I have hundreds of recipes there that I have yet to make videos for. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Tami, and I help you get healthy and stay healthy, one meal at a time. Bye for now.